Haha. Now there's sound. Okay. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I have Zoom open as well as this. Thank you for letting me know that the sound wasn't on. Um, we're going to do some 10-minute portrait sketches together. And I'll just show you what I've been doing the past hour because I've been warming up for this. And yeah, I just was in the last Saturday of each month. I do a Let's Face It live session, which just concluded. So, oh, there's Jane Goodall. This was the last live stream was of Jane Goodall. It's been a while. Yeah, so I started with this some 30-second sketches, and then 1 minute, 2 minute, and focusing on ink, which is my focus at the moment, and worked up to a couple of 6-minute sketches, and now we're going to do some 10-minute sketches together. So I'm prepared. I'm warmed up. If you have any questions or anything you would like to say, to ask, then please do so. We're going to be sketching some of my followers from Instagram. I just asked on Instagram who would like to be drawn. Who can we draw? And a few people said, me. You can draw me. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And I would love you to say hi in the chat, on YouTube. And as we start sketching, if you have the ability to draw and talk at the same time, then we can chat over on Zoom. There are 14 of you here. That's lovely. And thank you so much for telling me that the sound wasn't working so that I could remedy that. Okay, so we're going to sketch João first. And I'll put on a timer for 10 minutes. And yeah, I'm going to be using the parallel pen with an ink brush, and I'll do 5 minutes plus 5 minutes. That's always a helpful thing to do, to have that sense of when it's half time. I feel that's a helpful way to sketch, to be aware of the time that I have. So I'm ready. Is everyone else ready? Have you already started? Okay. Cool. All right. Okay, let's do it. Thank you for being here, everyone. And a special thanks to those of you who also spent the past hour with me. My pleasure. I love it. Yeah, it's so my until the start of March, I think it was, I was doing weekly, daily 10-minute portrait streams. And this is actually the first Saturday night longer stream since November, I think. So yeah, it's been a while. And I've been focusing this month on my ink course, which I've been drawing a lot for. And I stepped back from the streaming so that I could focus on getting those tutorials made for my new course. If you want to get on the wait list, the link is in the description on YouTube. Hi, Annette, Sandra, Maria Luisa, Ronnie, Cindy, Rosie, Kath. Who else is here? And to those in Zoom, thank you for being here in Zoom. And those of you who are on YouTube and would like to join on Zoom, you can find the link. It says Tuesday because every Tuesday you can come draw with me too. But it's the same link. If you were to follow that, you would find your way. Yeah, so how are you? How's your Saturday? rainy. It has been rainy in central Germany. Yeah. Oh wow. Whoa. Yeah. I was like, I don't know what that means, but it sounds really hot. um, yeah, it's been surprisingly cool. I already switched into like the sun's coming out, the leaves and flowers are growing, uh, thinking warm thoughts. But I've been like, oh, it's actually been a bit cold again. So this week, yeah, there's been a lot more streaming going on because I've had the week to myself, which is remarkable. Um, I would have been in Australia with Arvid and Holly, but they've been at Umad Upas, and I've been here working on my ink course and had a stream with Alexander Stanton for Drawn Together and did a couple of little Instagram live sessions where I was sketching um, recent followers. And someone, um, Anne, said that they would like to be drawn too, although they're not a new follower. And of course, anyone can be drawn. You don't have to be a new follower. But it was something I had thought about um, sometime last year, or maybe it was the beginning of this year, like wondering how um, to do more with all of you and the people out there who are tuning in and interested. And I thought, oh, it could be cool just to kind of sketch random followers. So that's what I was doing. Yeah, I was doing that a couple of Instagram lives, just sketching some recent followers. I've got them around here somewhere. I can, if I find them. The sketches can't be too far. I could show you because I actually already did a little sketch of Joao, but I don't know where I put them. But it was he was the first of five, and I wasn't warmed up for it. So this is the first 5 minutes. Irene, you missed the Let's Face It Zoom, but you're here now, which is great. Right, second 5 minute. Yeah, if anyone in Zoom wants to speak up, a lot of silent, focused people sketching, feel free. Hello, Maria Luisa. have have you been, Maria Luisa? Oh. Yeah, it's great. It's nice to have you here. It's nice that you were able to join on Thursday for Drawn Together. That was really nice. I'm well. Uh, the kids are good. Yeah. How are your turtles? Yeah. Our our rabbits are feeling spring. They're really. Oh, for the turtles. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I thought of you recently because we went to visit friends who have turtles, and they had this beautiful space for them outside. And I was there with the kids, but the turtles weren't out yet because it's too cold. And so I remembered your turtles as well. No, no, we're not going to. Um, we would have already been there, but because we would have been stopping over in Qatar, we weren't able to. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. I was. Yeah. It's terrible. It's okay for me. We're okay, but it'd be better if it wasn't happening. Um, I feel for everyone there, and yeah, it's just kind of strange from a distance, um, seeing that all happen. Mm. Oh, really? Okay. Mm. Mm. Yeah. No, it's so. I don't know. I felt like it, it would just make so much sense not to go, um, like starting wars. Um, like it's it's not in the interest of the world. Um, and yeah, just kind of yeah. I wonder. So it's been. I just mentioned that I was listening to Ursula K. Le Guin's audiobooks, and also yeah, listening to fantasy and sci-fi. It's amazing, even if it was written like in the 70s, like bringing up these kind of archetypal uh, kind of problems, because there's often like conflicts and war and how we deal with it, and it's so interesting. And this is like I felt so much and so often that a lot of the issues and things that are taking place like have been addressed in a lot of books. And it's kind of like it feels like knowing these stories, it just seems um, like I guess fiction is a way to kind of process a lot of these things, and to feel like I have a framework for understanding why some things are happening and why they shouldn't. And it's kind of confusing to see like, oh, this is, terrible choices are being made and a lot of people suffering because of it. um, that was 10 minutes with Joao. um, Thank you, Joao. Next up we have Laura. um, and I just looked up to see David's phone. Anyone who wants to come join us in Zoom, you're welcome to do so. um, 17 people on YouTube, a bunch of people are in Zoom. Let's move on to the next reference with Laura. So this, I'll see if I can find the last sketch I did of Joao, because this one is more resolved, let's say. Yeah, here we go. From the same image yesterday. a lot smaller. It's like the low resolution version. Okay. All right, now 5 plus 5 minutes with Laura. Yeah, so the past few weeks I've been using many different pens, which are all flowing into my new ink course. And it's kind of, it's also like the story of my chronological progression and learning. So the course I'm working on is about ink. And when I switched to using ink rather than graphite, I really, my artistic development really changed a lot. The confidence. At first, it's very confrontational when you can't erase and you can't adjust things, but that it teaches you or it has the potential to teach you to really take care of the marks before you make them. And there are much looser, expressive, wild ways to use ink as well. But depending on what you're working on, and with the idea of being able to see something and find a way to represent it on paper with clarity and confidence, that is something which I'll have to have a look back through some of my old sketches, because I would spend so long with graphite, erasing, adjusting, second guessing, and then when I started using ink, at the suggestion of my mentor at the time, Rebecca Gay, I did some drawings that I really didn't like. And I was like, whoa, okay, I've got to slow down. I can't just charge in putting marks everywhere. I need to really have a look, be attentive to the reference, what I'm looking at, make my choices about how I'm going to put it on the paper. Also becoming familiar with ink. That's like really important to move through some really ugly drawings and to even start to get a feel for how you can use that particular tool. It's a very very interesting to learn. So yeah, it taught me so much, just in a way of focusing, understanding value, and yeah, it felt like when I started focusing on ink, that it kind of took my observation and the way that I drew to a different level, and that I had a new understanding of how I could achieve certain things. And so in my new ink course, which I'm working on, which will be out soon, the waiting list link is in the description, I'm kind of going through that progression of like the reduced line weight, like where there's minimal line variation, just to be with a fine liner, to be really clear, ballpoint pen, brush pen, which for me was that was a really important step, to be like, okay, if I can focus on minimal line, but then bring with a brush pen to bring a dynamic line quality to the line, that was a really interesting kind of progression. And then from there to the calligraphy pen, and then from there to ink wash, which is kind of more akin to watercolor, which also helped me become more confident using watercolors. So there's my idea to the course is it's kind of this whole journey through these different tools and different ways of looking at the reference, depending on the tool that we're using, and how we can express different things, all with ink, but with different tools. So that's what I've been focusing on the last couple of weeks. Hi, Martina. All right, that was the first 5 minutes with Lola. And if anyone wants to head over to Zoom, same link as Tuesday. Hey, Sam. You missed the Let's Face It Zoom, but you're here, which is great. Yeah, so second 5 minutes is happening now. time is changing here tonight, and that was the uh, the hiccup with the Zoom meeting. So it was because I had in my Zoom set it for 9 p.m. because it's usually 9 p.m. when I do it, but Kara set it to noon Pacific time. So that's the confusion. But I'm happy that I'm able to offer this extra time and space to draw together. And for those who missed the session that just wrapped up. Oh, did it? That's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, so yeah, that was for the Let's Face It. Last Saturday of every month, I host the Let's Face It meeting. For 2026. What do you mean in April? On the Karabolic Art School, the Let's Face It is a year long. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. It's yeah. So Sketchy is that 30 Faces 30 Days. Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's Let's Face It is kind of like a year long 30 Faces 30 Days, but instead of every day, it's once a week for 52 weeks, and yeah, and bonuses. So there's live sessions as well. So here's the brush pen, which I was just using earlier today. I thought that could be interesting for the hair here. Are you doing 30 Faces 30 Days, Maria Luisa? Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, it's a good challenge. um, yeah, when was it? I did 30 Faces 30 Days a few times. Yeah, I taught in 2020 in lockdown. Um, but I also participated before I taught in 30 Faces 30 Days. I was a participant, and I really liked it as the beginning to the new year. Like every January, there's a 30 Faces 30 Days, and so I had been a participant a couple times before I taught, and yeah, it was a real push, like to have to do something every day, and kind of the stress of trying to keep up with it, which is also good. Hey, Ike is here. Hello. Nice to see you here, Ike. Yeah, yeah. I've taught a few times with Sketchy. Yeah. You got to go, Karina. Thanks for joining. Bye bye. Yeah, I was just talking about that with the Let's Face It people, because that feeling of like trying to keep up, and that it can be a bit stressful. If it's good to kind of, yeah, I don't know. I find a kind of relaxed way to be with it, because when you see a lot of people who like they're doing it every day and they're posting every day, sharing every day, and sometimes it's really hard to keep up with it, and then the feeling of like, oh, I'm not keeping up, like it can be a good a good bit of external pressure to have that drive to want to keep up, but it can also be really intense. So if you can, yeah, um, yeah, it can be a bit stressful, but if you can find a way just to be relaxed with it. And sometimes when I was following along, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm ready um, to do like an acrylic painting. So I would do a drawing, but still follow along, but just do the thing I wanted to do, because it's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity to learn so much from so many people. Yeah, yeah, because it's yeah such a wealth of knowledge presented in those classes. All right, that was our 10 minutes with Laura. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Oh, cool. Yeah, you're very welcome to join. Every Tuesday, I have a live session where we sketch each other. Um, if that works for you time wise. Otherwise, there's a link on YouTube or in my Instagram bio for. No, we would have just finished on Tuesday at this time, which is going to be different next week because of the time shift. But it's 7:30 p.m. German time every Tuesday. Um, bye bye. Thanks for joining. All right. Okay. Here's yeah. Cool. Yeah, it'd be great to. Yeah, it's been 6 years of Tuesdays, which is amazing. Um, so this John Uno one I got in the screenshot with this one. I had put in my stories that we're doing a sketch stream, and can we draw you with a thumbs up slider? And John was one of the people who gave a thumbs up. Yeah, it's fun just to find ways to interact with Instagram and the inhabitants and users of Instagram. So my sister has had this amazing project since December, where she's making a pride flag on her wall with post-it notes and writing the names of new followers. It's the Mxaras on Instagram. And yeah, that was when I first had the idea to just like sketch random followers, because I just thought it's so cool seeing with Claire like that it's just kind of activated so many people. It's just like, do you want to have your name on my pride flag? And she's got all these different color post-it notes. Yeah, and it's really cool to see it like come together. Like it started with just a few post-its, a few colors, a few names, and now it's like there are thousands of names up on her wall. And it's been really cool talking with her about it, because like just people have been so into it, just as such an interesting thing, just to just be part of it, part of a community creative event. And so as she was doing that, I was like, what could I do? I can't really, I don't know, it'd be pretty epic to sketch thousands of portraits. But I was just wondering, and then I had the idea that just sketching some followers could be a fun thing to do on Instagram. Because I've done lots of live streaming here, but not so much on Instagram. So anyone who's watching this, if you want to get sketched, just get in touch, and perhaps you'll be one of our muses. You don't have to pay. You can send me money if you want to. But it doesn't cost anything. But if you would like to, everyone's welcome to send me money if you want to. There's or join my Patreon or something. I always appreciate those who can. But for these, it's just the payment is the blessing of your face that we get to spend that time drawing you. Yeah, brilliant. That'd be great. I have this drawing of you, Linda, where you had the wig on for the Halloween drawing session. Oh, oh, cool. Yeah, that was so much fun. Hmm. Nice. All right. Can oh, Rosie, that sounds like your TV. Perhaps I'll just mute you. If you want to speak up, feel free to unmute. Um, yeah, that was a cool. Was that last year? I think in the Halloween sketch session. Yeah, that was fun. That was perfect. All right, that was the first 5 minutes with John. Okay, cool. Hmm. Yeah, and yeah, um, Anne in Zoom. Are you the Anne who just wrote to me on Instagram? Yeah, cool. Because I think you just joined Zoom on Tuesday like once years ago, right? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's nice to have you here. Yeah, although it was just that one session, like whenever I see your profile pic pop up, it like conjures up the memory of a drawing together. But yeah, I'm always looking for people to draw. So uh, perhaps next time. It's so interesting, and it's like it's an interesting thing. This like drawing memory, because I've when I look through my stacks of drawings from these Zoom sessions, like it'll bring people back, and sometimes people that have just been like once, be like, oh yeah, I remember that session, and it's a really interesting, like um, it's like time traveling, just looking through those old sketches. Uh, yeah, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking. I've been wanting to make a post showing like my first sketches from 6 years ago. So it wasn't the first time I'd ever drawn, but it was the first time like with that, 30-second portraits and stuff like that. So it's really interesting to look back. Um, and it would be, yeah, it'd be interesting also to see other people so everyone's welcome. And often there'll be people who've never been there before, but now that we've been going for so long, there's often people who've been sketching with me often on Tuesdays. Yeah, and it's really interesting to kind of look back through what we've done, the stories we've shared over the years. Yeah, sometimes they're not great. but yeah, 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 because it's really interesting to kind of, yeah, to just kind of look back on things, particularly like um, if you're, it can happen in like a really short space of time as well. Like I remember the first um, I remember the first 30 faces 30 days I did, where at the end of the month I was like, oh wow. Because I think the first time I ever did it, I can't remember what year it was, but I don't think I had ever had a daily drawing practice. And I remember that first time, the first month, like to look from the beginning to the end of the month, I could really see like what a difference it made to keep up a regular practice. Um, so being able to recognize and realize that is a pretty cool thing. And sometimes it's like it'll feel like once you get into it and have kind of established a practice, then the I feel like in those early days of learning that there's this great potential for starting to realize and understand the way you can work with things. And sometimes if you've been at it for a long time, that might not be as evident. But then it's really interesting, like for me now, to look back and see 6 years ago, like I wouldn't have done this portrait in 10 minutes. Yeah, so it is interesting, like with that consistent practice, to be able to see like it's really having an impact on the way I see things. And even if it's just like these little sketches, they all add up. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, 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 and it's really interesting, that thing of critique and feedback. Like depending on like how it's delivered or what you're asking for. Um, it depends. Like it needs a certain kind of you need to be able to kind of distance yourself from the work somehow. You know, it's definitely it's an intimate thing. It's something you're making. So this is Aya Firaz, uh, Ayana Florist, um, and I really like the leaf shapes and the leaf on the face. It's super cool, and it's like the black and white reference, perfect for an ink drawing. Um, Where's my timer? I just had to plug in my phone to charge it. Um, yeah, to like it can be super super helpful to get critique, um, but it's yeah important to have some kind of distance, like because I know sometimes, especially like I know learning something and feeling really invested in it, and then to I was fortunately kind of had the experience of being at university in architecture, where they really like devastatingly critiqued people. um, like there are some people who dropped out after getting critiqued the first time because they were it was intense. um, but it's interesting because it's kind of like it depends where you're at, how you're hearing it, and I think also delivering critique in like a loving, constructive way is also important, because maybe some people also just kind of are not very uplifting in their delivery. Yeah, unsolicited critique is that's like don't even listen to it. So that yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's also a big thing. If you're not like it's if it's a reciprocal consensual critique, I think that's really important. Like and I heard something once. I think it was actually Kevin Smith from like there's never any it's never any good to like to tear down someone's creative endeavors, and it's worth so much to build people up, um, because depending on whatever people are going through, um, like unsolicited critique is definitely not, it's like yeah it's a no-go. But yeah, and it was something talking about with Alexander, Woo Woo and the Wormling. We were talking about or this thing of how we take and receive compliments, but also when people are whether it's uplifting or kind of destructive feedback. Um, like this was something that was really interesting for me the first time I heard it. Like whatever people are sharing with you, it's kind of a reflection of wherever they're at, and it's actually less to do with you and more to do with them. And so it's really interesting to kind of figure out and hold the balance of how much is this me and how much is it them. But yeah, I know those feelings, and that was also something that like I think it can happen in school and kindergarten when kids are told like, oh, you can't do that good, and then they just stop. um, yeah. Yeah. Hmm. 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 Yeah. And if you're I can remember Claire, my sister, also saying like I'm 3 years older, and I did drama, like theater, at high school. And I remember Claire, who later in life So that she went to acting school, and there was a phase where it was like, oh, Clay, you'd be an amazing actor, and I can remember her saying that she thought it was my thing, so she was like, not going to do it. But she, once she then dedicated herself to it, like, it was amazing. But there was something in our sibling relationship where she was kind of like, oh, that's Dylan's thing. But I only did it for, like, at school. But she went on, and she just recently directed a play, which is really cool. All right, that was the first 5 minutes with Aya. How's everyone going over on YouTube? Yeah. Yeah. How's the YouTube crowd? I see there are 20 people there now. Thank you so much for being here. If you're not sure why there's such big silences and you're just hearing half a conversation, it's because I have my Zoom room open. And just having a chat with Linda about sibling influences in creative practices in our early lives. We were talking about critique for a bit, unsolicited critique, and other forms. So I really, really love this leaf form, and the contrast against the black. Like there's so much. This is so cool, and I think it's great that Aya is a florist, and I had to do a translation, but there was something really nice in what she had posted there. AYANAAA Ayana _ florist. I didn't have the time to put all the usernames up in here, but I will share them when I post on my Instagram. And I just checked on my little question in my stories, can we sketch you? That Alexander gave the thumbs up. So from Woo Woo and the Wormling. He was great. Yeah, that was a really lovely chat. Yeah, it was so nice. And it was really nice, like at the end, what he said about just wanting everyone to be able to create, to be able to access their creativity. And it was such a nice conversation. So if you have a look at the live replays on my YouTube, you'll find Drawn Together 62, and you'll be able to watch and listen in. And on Thursday, so it was the first time with this new format. I've tried lots of things out over the years. So the past year, I've been doing Zoom after parties for Drawn Together. And this time made it a halftime party and kept the stream going and opened it up to anyone who wanted to join. So the Zoom sessions for Drawn Together. So Drawn Together is a live stream draw along podcast interview show, and where I have different wonderful guests on, and we chat about creativity and the world and life and things. And similar to now, there are people hanging out in Zoom, sketching along. And with the Drawn Together show, when we have these different guests on, it's also an opportunity to to talk to them. And it's really, I really value the opportunity to get to know all these wonderful people, and it's often so interesting to put a face and a voice to the artwork. hmm I just a couple weeks ago, I breathed new life into this brush pen. So it was totally clogged up, and I took it apart, and I had a couple of them where the water was not flowing anymore. Um, and I took it apart and I cleaned it, and there's this this is an old pen, but I've given it new life, um, and there was a piece in it that's clogged, and I could not unclog it because it's super fine, where it's kind of where it goes, the fluid goes from this reservoir into the nib, and it's a super fine little tube, and it's just blocked. So I took it apart, and on the outside it's like this little cylinder, and I carved a little notch down the length of it. It's just a tiny thing. So instead of the ink going through the center of this little tube, it now runs down the side of it, but it works again. So I hadn't actually been able to use it for a really long time. And it was a bit of a fiddly process, but I was very happy that I was able to reanimate this brush pen. Okay, that's went a little over 10 minutes, but it was worth it. So nice. How's everyone doing? Hi, Michelle. No, Michelle. What Alexander said it was from before anything that happened on Thursday. I think I got the impression that he had a good time, and no, it was saying that it's he actually said he finds it difficult to not sure how to respond when he's being complimented. And that was the thing that then I said, whether it's compliments or it's not so kind. It's interesting to kind of keep in mind that it's something about whatever it is that we're presenting is resonating with other people in a way because of where they're at. So it's lovely when people build us up, and it's nice to have that reciprocal appreciation of each other. But yeah, to also know that it's about there's this great thing that my kids learned in kindergarten in Germany, which in English is kind of like, I know you are, you said you are, but what am I? That was what we used to say at school. But there's this thing that the German kids say, which, or at least at the kindergarten my kids went to, and it was wer sagt es selber? So the person who says it is it, which I think is a really interesting thing for the kids to be able to process. Like it was super helpful for my kids just to have that little Spruch, that saying when they would get super emotional, and then to be able to say to the kids, what they're saying may have something to do with how you handled the situation, but it also has a lot to do with them. All right, this has gone over 10 minutes. Could keep going and going and going. But since Alexander just gave the thumbs up, I'll maybe end this with one more sketch of Woo Woo and the Wormling. I thought it was Wow Wow, but it could be Woo Woo. Woo Woo, yeah. There are so many great ones. Yeah, you can keep going if you like. I wonder a different one, or one of the same ones. So many cool references. Maybe. I really liked this one. We'll do this one again. And see how we go. And this will be our last sketch for today. And I would love to see all of the work that you've done. There are now 23 people here. Who hasn't said hello yet? Please say hello in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If you have anything you'd like to say in Zoom, feel free to say anything. Where do you usually draw together? Nice. Cool. Pencils for tea. Is that Ilaria's drawing group? Yeah. Okay. Is it possible that it used to be with Ilaria as well? Because someone... Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool, yeah. Nice. Hi, Tombo914 on YouTube. Yeah, it's cool that there are so many. Like when I see everyone's sketches, there's like Drawing is Free, Pencils for Tea, the London Drawing Group. Like, see, I have my Tuesdays, which I love, but I see everyone's sketches like, oh, I wish I could also join in every day. There's always something happening. Yeah, so this is Alexander, who joined the Drawn Together show on Thursday. And during the Let's Face It session, I was talking about how he draws with no reference, and it's mind blowing. But he's also, yeah, yeah, it's really incredible. But it also comes from a lot of drawing, and also a lot of studies and observation. But yeah, I think it's incredible. I know there are some artists who are able to draw a lot without reference, and yeah, I find it really fascinating. And after we had our conversation on Thursday, I also spent a couple hours just drawing from imagination. It was not all as befriedigend. I wasn't as contented with when I draw from reference, but it was cool. Just try some, yeah, trying stuff from memory, like, oh, how is it that, like, if I turn their head this way, how do the eyes look? Yeah, it's a really, it's a good kind of mental exercise as well, just to conjure things up from your imagination. Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was really interesting in the conversation because I feel like when I look through his work that it's like it reminds me of dreaming, like just going from one thing to the other thing, and then there's all this surreal stuff, and it's just kind of um, yeah, really interesting to see how that's kind of just emerging through his automatic drawing process of just kind of starting sketching and see what happens. That could be good. Jesus, the hippie, the revolutionary. All right, that was the first 5 minutes. How's everyone doing? Uta. Um, Uta says, by the way, for drawing reference, if you want having an account on the museum app where you have inspiration pics, yeah, cool. Check it out. Always on the lookout for drawing. And if any of you give me your blessings and say, take my photos and do what you want with them, because like drawing privately is one thing, but when I'm sharing the reference as well, it's always nice to have permission because that's like on the museum app or people on Instagram. Yeah, it's an interesting thing because the people are, they're presenting themselves. These images are there and available, but it's nice for people to be consenting to be drawn and to have their image shared, even though it's already been shared. So it's an interesting thing to kind of, in the social media world, to navigate. But it's also just, it's so much cooler if you can actually be in touch with people who are like, oh yeah, sure, draw me. And then, it's an opportunity to connect. Yeah. I've been wanting to draw Gretchen for a while. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be cool. I don't know if I put the second 5 minute timer or not, so maybe we'd have some extra time. So I was just about to put like a wash of water to get some more value variation. But I thought to balance out all this line work over here, once I put water on it, I won't be able to draw onto it. So I was like, oh, maybe before I get into that, I'll just to kind of balance it out a bit, put a bit more line work in. Ha, Krista, I was just thinking of you. It's like, where's Rev 222? And there you are. How are you? I will be doing more streaming again soon. So I'm working towards wrapping up the filming for my ink course, which is what I've been focusing on. All of the daily streams of wonderful, inspiring people. That's one side effect of being in contact with people and getting their permission and learning about historical people. It's just that it consumed a lot of time for each one of those 10-minute portraits. And so I've been focusing on getting the course done. And you can all get on the wait list at the link in the description of this video. How long is the course? So I have this 7 modules and over 7 weeks, but you can do it at your own pace as well. But one module will be released a week, and each Sunday for those 7 weeks, there'll be a live session as well. And once each module has been released, then you can do it all at your own pace. And because it's a lot of different tools, like there are certain things that for some people may be more relevant or that you might want to focus on, but they all complement each other and they're all interwoven. And also for the first time, I'm attempting to do a lot of shorter lessons because I tend to do like at least an hour. But I've been talking with Kira about it, my dear wife, who is a teacher of many things. And she was like, online courses, short lessons, that's the best. So some of the videos are also more in depth and a bit longer, but there are a lot of briefer videos within the modules. So each module, each week is about 4 or 5 videos. And some of them are just like 15 minutes. So it's not too much of a time demand. And my hope with this as well, so there's going to be a lot of instruction and sharing of lots of different techniques and stuff, but also to pass it over to you, to be like, so now that you've got all this, how are you going to use it? Like, so this is in the past, all the tutorials I've done, it's been like, basically draw along, paint along. But in this one, I also want to invite people to take that and apply it to their own references and projects and stuff. So yeah, so it'll be depending on people's capacity and ability, time commitment wise. It'll be kind of a range of ways to engage with it. And yeah, get on the waiting list because there'll be an early bird special, of course. But yeah, what I was going to say is when I wanted to start in April, and 2 weeks ago I was like mid-April, but now it's already the start of April. But it's still possible; it could still start in April. Yeah, so mid-April is what I'm striving for. That's a good way to put it. So I've got the first 3 modules filmed, and I can also like start it and keep working on it, because I think that's also, especially for the first round of the course, it's really interesting to take on the feedback of the participants, what people are learning, what they would like to have addressed and stuff. So I have already put that out on Instagram, Patreon, Discord, asking people what they want to learn. So already letting that flow into the tutorials and the process. Krista just said, "Oh no, what were you thinking?" I was just thinking that you're so often here in the comments and the live streams, and then you appeared. So that was it. I could show you. So this is it. This is it for today. Thank you, everyone. I can show you some of the sketches that I have. So it's really, oh yeah, here's one that I did today with a brush pen, talking about line variation and filling in shapes and dry brush techniques and stuff. So this was a fairly brief, so it's like a 15-minute tutorial, and it's a really interesting project because I'm trying to do it all in a way where like each little bit kind of leads on to the next thing and could be kind of incorporated, the understanding of line and shape, value, like working with lots of different approaches and techniques. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with everyone soon. I'll just flip back through my sketches, and I will, if you're in Zoom, if you have something you want to share, after I've had a look at these, feel free. And if you want to post on Instagram, I would love to see what you've been working on. All my YouTube friends, thanks for being here and drawing with me today. You are a little late, Krista, but better late than never. I appreciate your being here for the end of the stream. Yeah, and thank you to everyone who wanted to be drawn. Yeah, it was fun. Thank you. I think it was worth a lot that there was the warm-up hour before getting started. Because this, like flipping back through them, it's like, oh, actually this one like started pretty strong with that, especially compared to that one. So thank you, Joao. Thank you, everyone. Hang on. Oh, Joao is here. Amazing. That's so cool. Joao's in the YouTube. Cool. Yeah, thank you for your reference. I will send you a photo of this. Thank you for following me, and thank you for letting us draw you. It's been super fun. All right. That's it for today, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm about to end the stream, and if you're in Zoom and you want to share what you've just sketched, then let's do that. But for YouTube, bye-bye. Thanks, everyone. Share and tag me on Instagram. And see you soon. Yeah, it was great having you here. Thank you to everyone who was able to join Zoom.